In this video, we'll take a look at the latest enhancements to Revu's visual search capabilities. Highlights of these updates include the ability to search for multiple rotations, the ability to better handle intersecting lines, and the ability to generate a count from your search results. So let's go ahead and run through an example that shows off all three of those points. So we're looking at a sheet from a commercial plan set, and I need to count the number of outlets on this floor. This is a great task for visual search, so I'm going to go ahead and select one of these outlet symbols. You'll see it show up here. First I'm going to turn on Search Multiple Rotations. Now in Revu, you have the ability to search for not just this exact symbol, but for multiple rotations of that symbol at 45-degree increments, as well as flipped or mirrored iterations as well. Next, I'm going to go ahead and check Limit by Selection, and when I do, take a look at what happens up here. You'll notice that that bit of the interior wall has been removed from my selection, cleaning things up quite a bit. Limit by Selection attempts to remove vector information from your search based on size criteria. Size in this case means the difference in size between the vector information in this electrical outlet symbol and the size of the information in the interior wall. Revu is trying to determine a size threshold based on what you've selected, and anything above that size threshold is going to be removed from your search. The end result being a faster, more accurate search overall. Now that we have our necessary options in place, I'm going to go ahead and run my search. Alright, looks like we found 77 outlets on this floor, and they all look rather outletish. So I think everything went alright. I'm going to go ahead and check all results. So now that I've checked them off, I can actually go ahead and apply a count to all 77 in one action. So no more manually counting your visual search results. Whether you're working on a bid or just trying to get some information live in the field, we hope this saves you guys a lot of time. So let's take a look at one more vector-based example before I move on to a scanned or bitmap-based document. So here we have another sheet from a commercial project, and it's getting pretty dense, as electrical sheets tend to get. And this is a great opportunity for us to show off what the new filter by color option can do for you. So I'm going to just start off with a very basic search here, and I'd like to determine how many of these office spaces are within this floor of the structure. So I'm going to go ahead and choose an example. There's no ideal examples here, as you can see, so I'm going to make a go of it with this guy here. So let's go ahead and reset our options. Get a rectangle. And there we are. Now if I search just for this, obviously I wouldn't get very far, but we'll go ahead and turn on multiple rotations just in case. And we already looked at limit by selection, and that should help us out a bit. Oh, and as you can see, it helped us out quite a bit, removing the these fixtures and the intersecting lines, both of which crossed over the size threshold determined by Revu. We still have the colored material to get rid of. So that's where filtered by color comes in. And filtered by color is modified via the refine colors dialog here. So this is going to give me a look at what color information within the vector space, again it's the vector document, is available to us. If I go ahead and turn off or filter out the red within the vector space, you can see the selection that Revu is actually going to search for now is quite clean. You may not see your color refinements reflected in the preview window, but trust me, they're there. So let's go ahead and run the search and see what we get. Looks like Revu found 43 separate office spaces within this structure. That sounds kind of high to me, but let's take a look. And they all look pretty office-like to me. I'm going to go ahead and do a quick visual audit by selecting all and then highlighting checked. So far, so good. It looks like it did indeed find every instance of Office in here. And you'll notice that because we filtered out, the oversized material, if you will, via limit by selection, and anything that wasn't the exact same color as our text, we're able to find things like this that even with the naked eye, would be pretty tough to spot. I mean, we have... This is material that's completely obscured. And again, we're not doing, this is, if you can take a look at this text, this is not encoded text. This is just a vector lines in the shape of the word office. So it's no different than we were searching for a symbol. But again, huge time savings here over what it would take for me to find this otherwise. So now that we've seen what can be done in the vector space, let's take a look at a bitmap-based document. So here we have a document that started life as a TIFF image, a type of bitmap. So you'll see here, no vector information, just nice jagged pixels. This is exactly what you'd be dealing with if you had a document that started life as a scan. When searching on a bitmap-based document, the refine colors option still comes in really handy. I'm going to go ahead and find as many instances of this symbol on the escalator as I can. And you notice that because of this gray text underneath is sort of obscuring my results, obviously if I didn't do something about it, I wouldn't be able to find examples like this. They're a little bit different. Or at least you're not going to get all possible permutations on this document in the same set of results. So let's go ahead and refine our colors and see what we can do about it. Now, when you're working in the bitmap space, you're looking at the histogram over here. And the histogram is just a representation of the tonal spectrum of your document. So we have the blackest black over here on the far left and the whitest white on the right, and then these little indicators of how many pixels we have in the gray space in between. So obviously we've got a lot of white and a lot of pure black and then a little bit of gray. Now if I bring this over to include the gray, you'll see that these gray lines start to come into the background too, and we could even get rid of most of the pure black too if we went the other way. But in this case, I'm going to use it just to focus in on exactly the black that we're after. That looks just about right. So now Revu is only going to search for symbols that have the same shape as this symbol, ignoring any of the other tones that would just get in the way. Now I'm going to go ahead and run my search. Looks like it found all 5 in this document. Go ahead and check and highlight. Now we had a much better candidate over here, but in a real world scenario you may not get an ideal candidate like that. And even in that case, you're unlikely to return all these other results in that same search because of the other information obscuring in the background. So always a great idea to use the refine colors option to narrow things down when searching in the bitmap space. Even if your document is seemingly all black lines, there's still going to be, in the case of a scanned document, a lot of gray material that may or may not help you narrow down that search. Finally, I want to talk about these last 2 options, search markups and search for fine detail. Search markups, when left off like this, ignores markups in the document you're searching. You'd want to ignore markups in a situation where a markup might be obscuring the content you're looking for. Revu, when doing a visual search, isn't going to look underneath a markup like this unless the search markups is turned off. Otherwise, that content's completely obscured and wouldn't show up in the results. And then search for fine detail is sort of a second pass that works in conjunction with sensitivity slider. So sensitivity slider affects how many total results you'll have off a document. Search for fine detail will search within those results, the results that you found based on this, and look at a finer level between the once the results have been found. So let's take a look at a situation where we might need to do something like that. So here I've got this 25 marker, and it's not encoded text, so a text search isn't going to help me in this case. And let's go ahead and grab a quick rectangle. If I wanted to search for symbols similar to 25, I may be able to find 26, 27, 28. In terms of their shape, they're actually very similar, and the sensitivity slider will probably allow you to pick up a lot of symbols that are just close like this. When you turn on search for fine detail, Revu will then go through and pick through the results you found to help weed out the 26s, 27s, and 28s if you're looking to just find the 25s, for example. So when you're doing a very specific search like this, where there's chances of the results being very similar to each other, that's a good idea to turn on search for fine detail as a second pass. And you can see there, even with my sensitivity turned down low, we still just found the one instance of 25 and not the 26, 27, and so on. So those are our new visual search enhancements. Happy searching, everybody.